class, today's lesson is on reading, writing, and ordering big numbers. Our learning targets are I can read and write large numbers, I can compare and order large numbers. We have quite a bit of vocabulary for you to write down in your notebook under your vocabulary section. So the first one is digits. A digit is any of the numbers from 0 to 9. Go ahead and write that in. Next one is place. Place is the position of a digit in a number. So where it falls, where the digit falls, if the number is 345 and the digit is 3, it's where it falls in that number. Okay, the next one is place value, and that's the value of a digit based on its place. So if we're looking at the number 345, the 3 has a value of 300. The 4 has a value of 40. And the 5 has a value of just 5. That's the same as saying this is 5 ones. It's in the ones place. This is the same as 4 tens. And this is the same as 3 hundreds. I would like you to write down all of these examples too. That'll help you later. Our next word is expanded form, and that's when we take our 345 and expand it this way. So 345 is the same as 300 plus 40 plus 5, and that's the same as 345. You don't have to write a definition for that, just write this example down, because I think that is easier. Our next word is standard form, and that's just when we see the regular way of writing numbers is the standard form, 345. And our last word is word form, and that's when we take the number and we write it in words. So we took 345 and wrote 345. That's it for your vocabulary. Alright, so this is a giant place value chart. We usually are used to just seeing this small one right here, the ones period. So we would see this as the ones, tens, and hundreds place. But this is a big one. It has multiple periods. So this is our ones period, this is our thousands period, this is our millions period, this is our billions period, and this is our trillions period. So I'm going to show you how to use that. So our first step is to read the number aloud. So I've written this number right here. Use the periods to help you. So, and when I say period, I don't mean like our punctuation period, I mean each section and what it's named. Okay, so this number is 3,456,782. So I've read that aloud. I'm going to write it in word form. This might take me a while. So, actually I have to write that. Whoopsie. Whoop, lost my marker. 3 million, and whenever it's the end of a period, a section like this, we're going to put a comma in. So imagine that there's a comma at the end of each period here. 3 million, comma, 456, and our period is 1,000. 456, I have to come down here to write 1,000. Don't forget our comma at the end of our period, at the end of our section, 782. Okay, so I'm going to read it again. 3,456,782. Let's see if our word form matches up. 3,456,782, and it matches. All right, the next step is to write it in expanded form. So this is going to be tricky. I need to write 3, I'm going to start with this number. This is 3 million. So there's 3 million plus 400,000 plus 50,000 plus 6,000 plus 700 plus 80 plus 2. That's our expanded form. And our last step is you might have to answer a question about the value of a certain number in a large number like this, or a certain digit in a big number like this. So I've chosen 5 for our first question. So what value does 5 have in this big number? So 5 is right here, and I see that it's in the thousands place, or thousands period, and after it is a 6. So it's 50,000 is the place of that, the value of that, sorry. So 50,000. See that? But if I change this and I wanted to know the value of, let's say, the 8, we'll do an easy one. The 8 has a value of 80. If I changed it to the 3 has a value of 3 million. Oops, comma doesn't go there. Oh, yes it does. Okay? So that's how you answer those type of questions. All right, and our last slide is going to be practice work in your notebooks. So we have 2 different problems here, 2 different numbers, and then 4 questions for each of those. So really you're going to have 8 different questions to answer in your notebook. So the first number is right here, and I'm not going to read it aloud because I want you to read it aloud. That's your first step. So just as you're sitting at your computer, you can read it aloud to yourself. You can whisper it if you don't want someone to hear you. So read this problem, or this number aloud to yourself. Write it in word form for number 1. Write it in expanded form. And then what value does 5 have in that number for number 1? Then, when you're done with all those for this first number, you can go to the second number, which is a much bigger number. And you're going to do the same thing. Read it aloud to yourself, then write it in word form, then write it in expanded form, and then again, what value does the 5 have in this number? Okay, and you can kind of number your paper like this if you want, under each number, whatever helps you. And the reason we read it aloud to ourselves is so that we can hear it and hear if we're saying it right once it comes time to actually write it. So make sure you do that step. It's important. And that's it. If you have any questions, you can write them down in your notebook and bring them to school tomorrow. Thanks.